Hi, Tony here in my own kitchen, and I'm here with none other than Mama Julie, my mom. You ready to start baking?
Absolutely. I'm really excited to be in your kitchen.
Yes, it's my kitchen.
Baking.
All right, and we're gonna do the most important of beginner recipes of all time, and that's chocolate chip cookies. And we're gonna do it with the OG of chocolate chip cookies, my mom. You're gonna show us how to make your cookies.
Absolutely.
We've already kind of gotten all prepped up here. We've got some unsalted butter that's creamed. What happens next?
So we need to add the sugar,
Okay.
the brown sugar, and the white sugar.
All right, so you've got brown sugar, white sugar. Just one thing real quick. I know you're passionate about brown sugar. Why?
Because I think it adds a little more flavor and a little more moisture to the cookies.
All right, so let's get sugar in there, right? So we've got a couple sticks of unsalted butter that have already been creamed. You're gonna get the sugar in there?
Yep.
Okay.
And you have to mix it real well.
All right, so I'm gonna lock this in. You wanna start on like first speed?
Yeah. So the sugar doesn't go flying all over the kitchen.
And so you've creamed the butter, and what do you want? This is important, obviously, with getting the cookies right. What do you want the sugar to look like? How do we know kind of when it's there?
Well, you can see the color changes.
Okay.
The mixture looks a little lighter in color, and it's very smooth.
Okay. So can we raise the speed on that?
Yes, I think we should. And you really want to get the sugar incorporated into the butter, because what happens is the sugar liquefies a little bit.
All right, so to review, we were on first speed for like about 30 seconds, and you're raising it. And as we're looking at this right now, you can see it's kind of nice, and it's creamy, and it's starting to get fluffy. And where do you want it to kind of reach?
It's incorporating some air into the mixture as well, and I'd like it to be for about 2 minutes, I think. It's generally the rule.
So the base of all chocolate chip cookies, creaming the butter and incorporating the sugar.
Yep.
And that's really important.
Very important.
Okay. So we've been mixing for about 3 minutes, about 30 seconds on first speed, and then we raise the speed. You're happy with how the butter's been creamed. Why do you know that it's done right now?
Well, you notice we put brown sugar in there. Look at how light the mixture is in terms of color, but it's also expanded in volume. It's incorporated some air as we mixed it.
Okay, cool. What happens next?
We're going to add an egg one at a time.
Okay.
And we're going to beat that in.
Okay.
So people have different ways of cracking eggs.
You're having a tough time there. What's your way?
I thought I did a pretty good job. Okay, so now we're going to beat that in.
But we got to add 2 eggs, right?
Yes, but one at a time.
Okay.
You got to do it the right way, okay?
Okay, we're 1 egg at a time. Some people might be busy, you know? But we're going to insist on your single egg method.
And also, what some people do is they'll crack it into a bowl.
We're going to start up an egg cracking series as well.
Right.
Going
exactly.
forward.
And then we're going to add the second egg.
Right. I don't want people to be nervous because they might be scared just to try your cookie recipe. If they get bogged down with eggs, like, you know.
I don't think they'll get bogged down with eggs. But this is the proper way to do it.
But just to be clear, if they wanted to crack 2 eggs at a time.
Fine.
Okay.
Nothing terrible would happen.
Okay, fine. Good. All right, so we've incorporated those eggs. What else is next now?
We're going to add some vanilla.
Okay.
And vanilla adds a lot of flavor.
All right, and somebody says, hey, I got some imitation vanilla at home.
No.
Why?
It's just not the same.
Flavor-wise?
Flavor-wise.
All right, so spend the money, get the good vanilla.
Yes.
It'll make a difference.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, so we're going to incorporate that vanilla. Now what?
I beat that a little more for another. That's it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to wipe down the sides of the bowl with the spatula.
All right.
So you clean up the bowl.
So you're just cleaning the sides of the work bowl?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. And then we're going to add our dry ingredients.
And so we've already scaled out. We've got some butter, we've got some baking soda, and we've got 1 Mighty Mill stone milled organic all-purpose flour.
Yep,
The very best.
the very best.
So we're gonna add it,
There's nothing
right?
like
So while you're doing that, so we just added the flour, and how long are we gonna mix this for?
Just till it's incorporated into the butter. You don't, and it'll be smooth.
All right, so to be clear, we don't wanna mix these too much.
Well, you don't worry as much about cookies as you would about something, finer like
a pastry. Okay.
or a cake. You
All right.
wouldn't want to overbeat it.
But to be clear, if this is your first time making cookies, you don't wanna beat these like a bread. You're
No.
trying to be delicate.
You are.
Okay.
You're trying to be delicate, and you go slow. Again, the flour could go flying all over the
All right.
kitchen, which I've done, and
Okay.
I know you've
All right,
done.
so,
Right.
so you're mixing this kind of gently,
Yeah.
and you're almost like pulsing it together.
Okay, and then it'll come together to form.
So you're just doing it until it comes together into a dough. We're
Right.
about 20 seconds in, and I think we can see that this mixture is kind of just come together. How would you describe that, Mom? It's kind of like a pasty kind of mixture.
Right.
Okay. So barely been mixed together.
Okay.
And so
then-
that's our cookie batter, and all that's missing, chocolate chips.
Right.
All right, and you go big with chocolate chips, right?
I sure do.
Okay, so
I think the more the better.
a lot of chocolate chips, and if you want to use other stuff, other kinds of chips are cool, and even nuts are cool, but nobody likes nuts, Mom.
A lot of people like nuts.
Right.
But the trick to using nuts is to toast them first.
Okay,
Make them toasty.
but there's still a lot of people who aren't going to be happy, but that's okay.
Right. So you have to know your company.
Okay,
You
so
have to know who you're making it for.
you added half the chocolate chips,
Right.
and you're gently incorporating, because you don't want to overmix, right?
Right.
And now you're going to add the rest of your cookies. So one final thing as you do that. You were a baker for many years using conventional flour. You've been
Right.
using 1 Mighty Mill flour for the last 4 years, and your life has changed, your life is better.
My cookies are better. My baked goods
Why-
are better.
why are they better?
Because there's the flour. There's a nuttiness to the flour and
Okay.
a freshness to
Okay.
it. It's something you can't compare.
So
to
by
any
starting
flour.
1 Mighty Mill, I made your life infinitely
changed
better.
my life,
okay.
Tony.
Okay, there you go.
Just like I gave you
Oh,
life.
okay, come on, that was a
and
long
I
time ago.
changed your life.
That was a long time ago. Come on,
Okay.
we're dealing in the present right now.
Right. Exactly. Did you ever think?
Oh, please, Ma, they're gonna make the cookies here
Okay.
for her.
We're just gonna spoon them out
Okay,
and put them on a cookie sheet. You have to be careful that you don't
why do you have to be careful?
put them too close together so that they brown and they spread a little bit.
All right, so this is a half baking tray. We've got a little bit of parchment on it. How many cookies do you think we can form on this right here?
I'm comfortable with maximum 12.
Okay, and scoop is okay by you?
Scoop is great. If you form them and leave them in the fridge for a day or two, they almost taste better. The flavor is enhanced.
You kind of form them loosely. You got 12 per sheet tray. Oven temp, what's your preferred oven temp?
375.
So these have been in there for 10 minutes. They look
Perfect
good.
looking.
So tell me, they're done, but how do we know they're done?
They're lightly golden on top.
Okay.
They're a little darker around the rim.
Okay,
you can
great.
See, and there are some tiny little cracks in them.
So there it is, Mama Julie's stone milled, 1 Mighty Mill organic cookie recipe.
I always go for the big chocolate chip.
You pick out an individual chip. They're really good, right?
Perfect.
And they're better because of 1 Mighty Mill flour.
Absolutely. I can tell a huge difference.
This is what
Much
we're going to
more
serve
flavorful.
up Mother's Day. This is the Mother's Day meal. We're holding it like it's a Nobel Peace Prize or something. It's just like, look.